Late non-quant Mr. Country K. All right. Well, if you guys are watching with us on YouTube, looks like I'm gonna have to start off this by myself and kind of let you guys know what's going on with me and why I'm wearing a mask right now. So, um, in about 10 minutes, we'll be talking with Coach. So let's get it going. Five, four, three, two. What is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. It's another episode of the All Pro JAFFOs, a Prenator Bros Productions podcast where we bring you the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan. I am your host, JP, and currently I am on here all by myself at the moment. Had to get the show started in some way, shape, or form. Uh, Country K will be joining in a little bit, and we will also be joined at 6:30 by Coach Brandon Younger, defensive backs coach and recruiting coordinator for San Francisco or City College of San Francisco, the reigning JUCO national champions in football. So we get to talk to him. But let's give an update on what the hell is going on. And if you're watching right now, going, why in God's name is JP wearing a mask inside of his own home? That's a good question. So, what's happening with me is was exposed or wife tested positive for COVID on Tuesday. Um, it's fine. Shit happens. The Omicron stuff has been going on. She tested positive, but I tested negative. But according to CDC rules and everything else like that, even though I've been exposed and tested negative, I should still take precautions and stuff like that around the house. My wife and I are currently quarantined away from each other, which is unfortunate. Um, you know, not being able to be around each other kind of sucks, obviously, for a lot of people who have been through this situation. Um, you guys know exactly what I mean. But again, I tested negative. I'm going to be testing again tomorrow to be able to make sure if I can even attend the Bay Area Cali Classic game that's going to be going on this Saturday. Um, yeah, that's really the whole thing. I tested negative. I haven't been showing any symptoms. I feel good. I feel fine. But there's always the possibility of asymptomatic and all this other kind of stuff. So, um, to be quite honest, it is a little surprising to me that I'm not positive or that I did not test positive yet, considering the time frame of my wife's symptoms and everything else like that. But again, everything right now is good. Tomorrow morning, again, I'm going to go get tested, and we will keep everything posted. I mean, if worst comes to worst, uh, Country K and Matchsticks, they will be there on Saturday. I will be here at home, um, probably getting into the the commentating and everything else like that from here. But we'll give you guys more updates on that. But in the meantime, while we're here, just want to let you guys know the man that you're about to see right now is the defensive backs coach of the city of San Francisco Rams, the junior college national champions. He is also the recruiting coordinator for the school, as well as the executive camp director for the RVC showcase, the routes versus coverage showcase. Please welcome JAFFO Army. Please welcome to the show, Coach Brandon Younger. How you doing, Coach?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for having me.
problem. It's just me at the moment. We do have Country K and Matchsticks. They may be joining in a little bit, but with things going on the way they are,
Yeah.
are explaining to the Jaffo Army why I'm wearing a mask inside my own home. I do not have COVID, no, but but my I have a significant other who does. so we're just kind of taking
Yeah,
precautions and everything else like that. But
man.
first things first, congratulations, coach, national champions. My goodness,
Man, yeah, I know, man.
that's a hell of
Thank
a
you.
feat.
Yeah, man. Thank you. It was a special season, man. I think it's really a testament to being around a bunch of good men that all got the same goals and the same aspirations, man. It was a fun year, historical year.
Historical to say the least. I mean, I played at San Jose City College in 2010, and
Okay.
we had the unfortunate time of having to play you guys during pre-conference. I remember that game vividly in my mind, 77-0. I'll never forget the score. It's the worst I've
Oh
ever been
man.
beat down in my entire football career. Uh,
Yeah.
it was I think Bubba Watson was on your team at that time. You guys had countless D1 bounce backs at that time. It just
Yeah.
the
It was
amount of talent
crazy.
y'all had on your team and still do. I mean, at
Yeah.
least at that time, the one thing I specifically remember about that game is y'all rotated through all three of your quarterbacks. Your first quarterback was good at throwing and running. Your second quarterback was good at throwing, and then your last quarterback was running all over us. It didn't. It just. It
Yeah,
didn't
man. That's
matter who you guys had in. Like, how does that amount of talent? Like, how do you guys get that amount of talent? What's one of the recruiting tools that you guys use in order to get this kind of talent to come through your guys' school?
I think a lot of it, I think, has to do with the history of the program and the people that have come through the program and that have contributed to the program and won previously before us. But also, I think it's a philosophy, um, and it's a system. You got guys. You tell guys, listen, we want to bring a ton of good players in. We want to bring a lot of good players in. We want guys to compete. And if you come in and you compete and you work your tail off, not only will the guy in front of you get opportunities, but the guys behind you will get opportunities as well. And that's just a testament to, a special. I think it's a testament to special teams and special programs to be able to get guys to understand that, and then understand when you come in where you land within the hierarchy of the roster. If you're a young guy and you need to be developed, you may have been a really good player in high school, but we may have identified some things that you need to develop. So we'll evaluate that. And we'll bring that to your attention. Like, hey, we think you can maximize your career by doing X, Y, and Z. And I think it's about the players trusting us, the players and their parents and their families trusting us in the plan that we put together for them. And it just works out. I think the results are everything. And when you talk to a kid like, hey, look, this is what we want to do for you. Here's our plan. Trust it, and then everything you want as an individual and as a team will happen. So, to make a long answer short, I think it's just about transparency and letting guys know, like, this is how it goes here. It's about competition. It's about, coming in and earning your keep.
I mean, having that sort of philosophy is definitely beneficial to players coming up, including high schoolers coming up with the the mindset of D1 or bust. That's one thing that we've been talking about this show or on this show for quite some time with a few different people
Mm-hmm.
about that mindset. It was there when we were playing in high school and college and everything. Everyone had the mindset of D1 or bust, and if you didn't get that, everyone just kind of, oh well, I guess I'm not going to be getting a full ride anywhere or going anywhere. So what is
Yeah.
it as a junior college, how often do you guys come across players with that type of mindset, and what does it take to kind of break them out of that mindset?
I think you come across guys all the time, especially as a junior college. When we, especially me as a recruiting coordinator, I'm recruiting guys that are teetering on that, Division I talent, may not be able to be seen, but especially around times like this, a lot of kids are holding on to their Division I dreams. So as a JUCO coach, you kind of sit back, build a relationship with them, sit back and kind of let things, play, and kind of let them know, like, hey, look, as a junior college, we're going to be a resource to you. We understand you want to go to Division I, and if that happens, great. We want to see you move on, even if you don't come through us. But if not, we're in the business of getting guys and helping them get to where they want to go. Now, when it comes to D1 or bust, I tell guys this all the time. We're going to provide the structure academically, athletically, strength and conditioning wise, schematically. We're gonna provide that. All we ask you is to follow those steps. If you follow the steps of the structure that we have, you're gonna land wherever your talent is worthy, and that just is what it is. If the season is done and you've gotten as many reps as you've gotten, your film is out there. Your film is going to dictate whether or not you're a Division 1 or Division 2 player. And if you want to hold on to those Division 1 hopes, I mean, that's fine. I'm not gonna, I would never try to suppress any kids' dreams and aspirations. But there comes a time where reality sets in, where you may have to go to a Division 2, you may have to go to Division 3 or NAIA school, and kind of being content with that is kind of what you have to do if you followed all the steps, and that's where you end up at. It's kind of like a reflection of where the recruiting world, the football Division 1, Division 2 world, kind of where everyone sees you at. So, and I mean, especially being at a school like this with connections that we have, we're gonna put your film in front of people. If they don't bite, then they don't bite. I mean, and it's really just the film that you put in, and that kind of dictates whether you Division 1 or Division 2 or et cetera. But one of my recruiting things, when I talk to parents and talk to players, I say that, listen, I'm bringing you here because I believe that you have talent to play at the Division 1 level. Whether you maximize that potential and get there is going to be on you, because again, we have the structure to get you there. Now you just have to follow that structure and be disciplined to it in order to give yourself the best chance to get there. Now, nothing is promised. We won't ever promise the kids that they'll go there, but we'll let you know that your chances will increase if you follow these steps, because we've identified you as a kid that we feel like to play at Division 1.
So again, when you have all these, players that come out of high school and they have those aspirations, at least with the City College of San Francisco, you know what you're getting. The history of the program and everything kind of speaks for itself. That's, in my opinion, that's one of the bigger recruiting tools going. Like, just look at the history of the program. Everything is there, everything is structured, everything is, not to say that, other junior colleges or ever don't do the same thing, but again, results kind of speak for themselves.
100%.
But when one of the things that when I went through junior college, one of the things that I tried to kind of understand that I didn't really get, that I kind of want to help other people understand, is the D1 bounce back aspect. When you get players from all over the country as D1, how does that whole process come about? What is it that brings D1 athletes, and how difficult is it to even bring D1 athletes to your program?
Well, honestly, I just, like I said, I came in March. We didn't have a ton of Division 1 bounce back. But I think the philosophy behind it is, guys can bounce back from Division 1 all they want, but when you come into the program, the standard is the standard. You're gonna have to compete for a spot. Like, you being a Division 1 bounce back doesn't automatically guarantee you a starting position on the roster. You're gonna have to come in and you're gonna have to compete like everyone else. And there's guys that potentially have been there that got skin in the game. So if you come in, you got to come in and work your ass off. And it's just like any other predominant program. The best guys are going to play, and that's just how it goes. The best guys are going to play, and it may not be the best player, the most talent, but it's the guys that understand what we want to do, how we want to do it, have a competitive spirit, have an unselfish spirit. Those are the kind of guys that you want to have out there in your one of your 11. And I think that's just kind of how it goes. It is difficult. It can be difficult sometimes. You get this 6'6" D tackle come in and he's a monster. It's like, we got to find a way to get this kid on the field. It just is what it is. But you also have to create a plan where you're continuing to reward the guys that were there as well. And again, I think that's all about transparency, and it's all about being creative as coaches, being creative and making sure guys are getting the opportunity to get the film that's going to get them out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one thing that a lot of kids and stuff kind of rely on is, they were the best players at their high school and everything else like that. So, and then when you come back from a Division One into a junior college program, there's kind of that sense of, oh, I was at the D1 level, I should be an automatic start. So giving them that opportunity to let them know, hey, you played D1, but this kid who was in high school could be better than you. It
Yep.
could, it could. So how
Yeah.
do you have you guys had any? I mean, without naming names, you guys don't have to do any of that. But has there any been problems that you guys have tried to, like, getting a D1 bounce back or kid, maybe just a kid just a little too overinflated of an ego? How do you guys, um, I guess, deflate that ego? Like, how do you guys
One of,
get into the kid's head to let them know, hey, it
one
is
of the
what it
things I
is?
will say again, I got here in March. So I hadn't had a ton of experience with guys bouncing back and having to deal with it. But Coach Collins, I mean, just his leadership, like when guys bounce back, there's a lot of vetting process that goes on, a lot of conversation and transparency. So I think when guys come in, they're, like I said, Coach Collins and Coach Nuno and the entire staff, I think they do a great job of setting the expectation before guys get in, so that you don't have to deal uh, with those different hurdles of guys coming in and kind of having an inflated perception of themselves. I think you kind of have those conversations before you get the guy on campus. And again, I think that's something that Coach Collins and the staff has done well. I mean, just the success they've had over the years is something that they've done well with when dealing with guys that are coming back from Division One.
Okay, so let's talk about the team.
Mm-hmm.
Historical year. It's something special, obviously, to win a national title.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine how difficult it is to
Yeah.
get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But talk about this year. Talk about your team. Like, what was it about this team that made it so special to where it was, even being considered as national champions?
I think that what made the 2021 team so special was the players. And I don't remember what coach said this, but he said your football team is in really good shape when your best players are your best people. And
Mm,
I really believe that that rings true about this year's team. Our best guys were our best people. So just, day in, day out, working their tails off. And when I got in there, when I came in March, I met my defensive back unit, kind of identified that we had talent. And from the first day I stepped on campus with my unit, is just we just wanted to continue to build a culture in every sense of what that means. Accountability, creating a standard, creating a philosophy that we're gonna go by, and holding each other, like I said, holding each other accountable. And I think that I think that really permeated throughout the entire team, and guys were really dedicated on what they wanted to do. Now, this was coming off a COVID year, and again, I
yeah.
tip my cap to Coach Collins and the staff even before I got there for keeping those guys engaged. When I came in there, guys were already engaged and kind of had an idea of what they wanted to do that year. And I really think the season, man, it was a roller coaster. We played, we played pretty well throughout the entire season. We pretty much dominated, the entire regular season. And there's challenges that come with having a season like that. In the first round, we kind of started off slow versus American River, and they came out hot. It was our second time playing them. And it was a really good playoff football game. We ended up winning the game in a pretty decent fashion, but American River, they fought really hard. And the Northern California Championship versus San Mateo, the second game, that was a really good game. That program has been dominant over the last 4 or 5 years. They've really kind of had the Northern California in a chokehold, and having to beat those guys for a second time, that was very challenging as well. Coach Pellick and his staff over there at San Mateo, they do a great job of getting their guys prepared, and they came out prepared. But our guys just wanted it. We had the entire year, we just had a sense of like want to. And again, it started from the best players, and then it just starts to permeate through everyone else. And I really think what was very important is guys identify what their roles were, and they accepted them. And I think
Mm.
that's what a championship team is like. Guys understanding what their role is and accepting it. You have to have a Ron Harper to win for the Bulls. You have to have a Pippen. You have to have a Rodman. And Rodman's not going to go shoot 30 shots. That's not his role. But he's going to rebound. He's going to play defense. And I think a lot of our guys, even our special teams, they played Coach Henderson had our special teams flying around, and it's guys that, probably felt like they should have had more playing time, but when it came to special teams, they played hard. So I think the team was a very unselfish team. I think we had a great camaraderie. We executed well, and we played with a ton of passion. And when you put those three things together, that camaraderie, execution, and passion, I think, you'll have, great things happen. And this season was crazy, man. And again, like I said, it was fun, but it was hella hard at some times because you have all that success. And then you got to find ways to not only motivate yourself, but motivate the players. And you got to kind of stay level because everyone's telling us how great we are. You seeing all these tweets, and our social media team is coming out with these crazy videos and just looking and everyone's telling you how great you are, but you have to come back and center yourself. And I think our team and our staff really did a great job of getting guys back on the path, even when we may have been starting to sway one way or the other.
It does speak volumes, actually, that that's an underrated, I think, aspect of a team, in my opinion, is the ability to stay humble through so much success, because it's very easy to get that overinflated ego, that inflated sense of self going, oh yeah, we can't be touched, we can't be beat, and then boom, trap game, that kind of stuff. So it does speak volumes to the fact that you guys were able to stay humble throughout the whole thing, which is very good.
And the thing is,
the team.
But the thing is, I will add, like I said, there were times where we got an inflated perception of who we were at times. And even myself, even myself, sometimes I have to, hey, it's time to check back in. But, and when you talk about being humble, one of the things I always told my unit is we're humble when we're preparing. If you stay humble through your preparation, then when you hit the field, you can have as much bravado and flash as you want. But when you want to have bravado and flash when you're supposed to be working, that's not when it happens. That's when you start to find those traps. I tell people this all the time because I'm a very vocal coach. I'm fired up. I'm like energy. That's who I am.
But I DB coach.
I'm a DB coach. And I tell our guys, we humble when we preparing. When we up late watching film, when you doing those extra reps after practice, when you taking care of your homework and then jumping on film, when you prepared and understanding what you do, be humble in those moments. Because if you're not humble in those moments, then your work won't show when it's time to perform. So yeah, I think, man, that's when you have a season like how we had, I think that's probably the biggest hurdle you have is just mentally staying engaged and having a realistic perception of what the goal is and where you want to get to.
So at this point in the season, or where was it in the point in the season where you guys kind of looked at each other and thought, man, we have a chance at a natty here. We have a chance at something like, is there a point in the season where you kind of look at it and go, or again, is that just come with the mindset of the program? We're here to win state championships. We're here to win national championships. We're here to actually compete and perform. Is that what's already cemented, or was it a point in this year where you were kind of, I don't know, maybe we have a chance, maybe we don't. I don't know. What point during the season where you guys thought?
When I first got there, that was the conversation, from the start. And for me, just from at being a position coach, that's the goal of our unit from the start. If if we're not entering the year with championship on our mind and a championship standard, then something's wrong. And that's wherever you at. That's wherever team you play for, or well, in regards to me, like that's my approach from the start. Like, and that's the standard from the start. And I think again, Coach Collins, I think he did a great job of not being afraid to talk about it too. You know, some teams, we're not going to talk about championships one day at a time. Nah, man. Day one, championship. What's up? You know
That's
what I'm
the
saying?
mindset.
Like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
man,
the mindset.
day one, the first day I see you, the first day we step up, championship. That's the goal. This day by day stuff. Yeah, we're going to take it day by day, but we understand what the end goal is. And that's the standard that we got to practice with going in day in and day out. That's the standard that we gotta set. So I think that was a conversation from the start.
I mean, that's obviously the mindset of a championship team is always have championship aspirations. So I mean, again, that an incredible feat what you guys did, and again, congratulations with that.
Thank you.
Outside of the team, we do like to let the listeners and the viewers and stuff like that get a little bit of a chance to get to know who it is that we're talking to. So yeah, we talk team, yeah, we talk, DB stuff, but we want to know about you. How did you get to this point? What is the road to being where you're at right now?
Man, damn, that's great. Well, I started coaching back in 2011 at Alameda High School. I just came back from college, born and raised in Oakland. Kind of wanted to get my younger brothers out of Oakland, so I moved to the closest city, Alameda, really safe, nice city. And my little brother started playing for the local high school. So I was working and I still loved football. I just got back from college. I was like, man, I'm gonna go help out. And that was kind of the beginning of where we're at now. I coached 4 years at Alameda High School. I had the pleasure of coaching Keelan Dawson, Suleiman Hamid. Suleiman went to Washington State. Keelan went to UC Davis. Keelan Dawson's currently on the Atlanta Falcons. And from Alameda, I got hired as a defensive backs coach and defense coordinator assistant at Oak Grove High School in 2015.
Oak Grove. Yep.
Yeah, the OG. In 2015, my first year there at Oak Grove, we won the CCS championship. We actually had a historical year also.
Of course.
We had a historical
from one
year
winning
also.
program to another. I know all about Oak Grove. I went to Silver Creek High School. I know all about
so you
Oak
know
Grove.
about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2015, we won CCS, and we were the first public school to beat all West Cal teams to a CCS championship. We beat Midi, Valley Christian, and we beat St. Francis for CCS championship. And I started there in 2015, and then in 2018, I got a phone call from Coach Kelly Edwards over at Foothill Junior College, which is in Los Altos, right near like East Palo Alto and stuff. It's like in Los Altos. In 2018, we went 6-4. And then 2019, we had the first undefeated season in school history over at Foothill. And then, of course, we had 2020 was the COVID year. And during the COVID year, I got a phone call from Coach Collins, kind of expressed interest in wanting to bring me aboard over at City College. It was a good step for me in my coaching position. And it also just worked for us and our family. And shoot, I got there March of 2021 and just kind of put my nose down, got with the unit, man, and we did what we did. So it's been, man, this road has been crazy. It's been a lot of winning, but
it seems like it. I mean, first year you get a natty, like what? Man, come on,
the first one, dude. Like, and it was crazy through the ride, but when I got the job, I told my wife, I said, we're going to win this thing. And I said, I want to go. And, and a big reason why I felt like City was the best choice for me to go in March was, it was a prominent program. They hadn't won since 2015. I felt like I can really come in and create an impact with my passion and enthusiasm, my understanding of culture, um, and we did it, man. 13-0. It was a crazy year, and that's kind of been my journey. I've been coaching for 11 years, but coaching at college has really only been 3 years. I had 18, 19, the COVID season, and then 20. So I mean, I'm fairly new in the college game, but it's been successful to say the
That
least,
was
man.
fairly new at the highest level, getting just
Yeah.
walk. I mean, again, walking into a situation where, okay, we just won a national title after just coaching a Foothill team who historically, when I was going through San Jose City, Foothill was another one of those schools that just
Yeah.
powerhouse schools. So leading them to an undefeated seed, it seems like the pattern that's going on with you right now is going to turn into something that, I mean, as long as you're there at San Francisco, I mean, they're going to be beneficial for having you there. I know for sure. But are there any aspirations maybe next level if the opportunity comes? Is that something that you're striving for, or
um,
is it kind of one of
I,
those day by
I,
day? I'm just going to do what I do
well,
until then.
I have three goals, and I tell people this all the time. I was actually at the National Coaches Convention, the American Coaches Convention this week in San Antonio, and I was talking to a coach, man, like, and I get asked that a lot. My goals are to win as many games as possible, help affect as many lives as possible, and be able to get paid and take care of my family to do those three things, to do those two things. And wherever that may be, um, that's why I'll let it take me. But I gotta be doing those things. Those things come. Those things are a priority. I want to win. I want to help people, help these young men, and then I want to be able to get paid to do it. And you know, I think that anybody in this profession should have those goals. So whether it's Division One, NFL, JUCO, like as long as we're doing those two things and those three things, I'm just thankful to be able to have the opportunity to do it. Now, I've been a DB coach, and kind of starting to wanting to grow into like a coordinator position, start to build my book, start to develop. I'm 38 years old. I can't be the DB coach all my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's time to
right.
start taking on a little more responsibility. But those opportunities and stuff like that will come in the future. Right now, I'm just really just focused on how I can help this program and how I can continue to do great things.
I mean, at this point, at this trajectory, I have no doubt that you're going to be doing. And again, that's always good qualities of any good coach out there. You guys want to win, but the main thing is developing these kids and these young men into um, people who can actually be productive members of society. So that's great quality to have in a coach. So before we let you
Absolutely.
go, I got to talk about the RVC, routes versus coverage. What is this? What is this all about? How? I mean, because I was looking into it a little bit, and I'm going, man, like, how does one get into something like this? Like, how do we become a
Yeah.
part of that? Like, talk about the RVC a little bit.
So the RVC Showcase is something that we created back in 2020. It was like during the tail end of the pandemic. It's a comprehensive combine and 7-on-7 showcase. It's a very unique format. We invite a specific number of kids to the showcase. They come, they perform a combine, individuals, they do one-on-ones, and then they're drafted into 7-on-7 teams, and then they have a 7-on-7 tournament. So the way it works out, it's an invite-only event. We do have aspirations to open it up to the public, but for the most part, we're inviting to invite only, where we reach out to kids from all over, whatever region we're going to. So March 5th is our first one, and it's in
Okay.
NorCal, it's our NorCal region. And we're bringing 132 kids. We don't bring a ton of kids. It's 132 kids, and those 132 kids are going to turn into 6 teams. And then those 6 teams will play a 7-on-7 tournament, and the championship will be crowned. But what's unique about the RVC Showcase is you can have a 4-star from this school and a 4-star receiver from this school, 3-star receiver, a quarterback from this school. If they get drafted together, now you get to see what it would look like for this guy to play with that guy, and then they have to play a 7-on-7 tournament. So not only does the RVC challenge you as individual, because you got the combine, individuals, one-on-one. So those are all the things that you're doing as individuals. But then after that, you come back and then we put you into a team setting. Now we want to see how you perform in a team setting. So it's really interesting to watch it all unfold, because you'll go and watch the RVC, and then we'll get to the 7-on-7 games, and those guys will be playing hard, playing together, communicating. They'll have handshakes and stuff, and it's like you just met this kid like 10 minutes ago, and now you're in a 7-on-7 battle with him, and you have to build that brotherhood and that bond like quick. And what I've seen is at each one of our stops is the teams that bond the fastest are the ones that win. It's not necessarily the ones with the best talent. It's the ones that bond the quickest, and it's all kind of pushing in the same direction. The fastest that wins the tournament. So it's a super unique showcase. We've gotten great reviews, and like what we do, I kind of look at the RVC Showcase like a mom and pop showcase. Like all of our stuff we do is in-house. You know, we want to keep it this way, like the backpacker. We like the backpackers of the showcase. You know what I mean? We want to keep it. We're not interested in going mainstream right now. We want to keep it in-house, and a lot of our resources that we use to help kids get recognition, because I am a junior college coach, and of course I want guys to come to my junior college. But the RVC Showcase has no affiliation, aside from me being that city. It has no affiliation with any junior college. This is our opportunity. Again, like I said, one of my goals are to help kids. Like if a kid comes and he's really good, I'll shoot that prospect list from Northern California. We have guys come and guys perform well. We'll create evaluations. We'll create a prospect list of those guys that perform well, and I'll shoot them out to my contacts. Hey, coach, these are the guys that came to RVC NorCal. These are the guys that I felt like are Division I talent or Division II talent or Division III talent. We'll kind of give our evaluation of where we feel based off our evaluation that they land, and we'll shoot it out to all the colleges. You know, we've got, Brady Hutchinson is at Oregon State. These are kids that have been in our program. Cruz Rushing is a corner from Arizona. He just got Arizona State. Brandon Craddock from Arizona. He just got University of Arizona. Jeremiah Irby was at RVC NorCal participant. He's at University of Cal Berkeley. Chase Harmon is at MIT. He received a scholarship. Jalen Jackson's at UC Davis. He's an RVC. The list goes on and on of guys that have come through the showcase and that are now playing in Division I. And we sent that stuff out, and I'm never a guy that want to take credit for a guy getting on. We're not one of those showcases that taking credit for guys getting their offers and stuff like that. We're just happy to be a part of the process and helping these kids develop and get on the platform to showcase their talent. And that's kind of what the RVC Showcase is about. We're excited about season 2. We got a lot of upgrades that we're doing, and it's going to be a lot of talent. So we just juiced about it.
I mean, 1 year going on 2 years, 3 years, and already it's showing that it's a good spot to be able to develop your skills as an athlete and everything. It's giving another outlet for these kids to be able to showcase, like you said, their talents, because again, not everybody's going to get looks at D1, not everybody's going to get looks D2, even D3, sometimes not even NIA. So it just it's a process that is difficult, and not a lot of people make it. That's just the sad reality of the entire thing. But the more chances that these kids can get to be able to at least try and make it to the next level is always a good thing. So what you guys are doing is it's really good things, and I honestly can already see that this is going to be something that, and I've been looking at all these different places. We've had the benefit of talking with a lot of people. We talked with Leslie Jackson of Gunner Sports, and she does the Bay Area Cali Classic, which is this Saturday. So that's that was an all-star game that I looked at going, wow, this is something that can turn into something really good. So now the RVC here, this is another outlet for kids to be able to look at and be able to kind of showcase their skills. So uh, it's really honestly beautiful to see the growth of the game, because as much as there is about it, with the concussions and all this
Yeah.
other, different things, health concerns that parents may have and all that kind of stuff, it is really good to see that the game of football is still changing, not as itself, but it's actually changing the lives of kids everywhere. So what you guys are doing is really beneficial. And as a former athlete myself, God, I wish I would have had
Yeah.
more outlets to be able to do and get farther. But I mean, that is what it is. But I really appreciate what you guys are doing, and I really do hope nothing but the best for you guys. And as much success as you've already had as a coach, my good, I don't even. I think you can retire and be good. Like, as
It'd be
much.
done just right off in the sunset, man. On my John Elway hire, man. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, first year national champion. Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
gotta
but
do no
I
more. I'm
think
good.
there's, yeah, I think there's still a lot more to be accomplished, and again, I appreciate you having me on the platform and giving me an opportunity to do this. I definitely would love to just stay in contact and kind of
Oh yeah.
keep this thing going, man. But I'm super appreciative of the opportunity to come on and talk about the RVC showcase, talk about City College San Francisco, my coaching careers. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. We will. I mean, as many times as we can have you on, at least during the season or whatever it is, you big time friend of the show for sure. There's open invitation for all of our guests, and the same goes for you. Anytime you want to come on, talk a little bit, show a little what's going on with the RVC updates, what happening at your school,
Heck
whatever it
yeah,
is. Open
yeah.
invitation to come on to the show, Coach. Loved
Oh,
having you
well,
on.
sounds
Great
good.
conversation.
Well, sounds good. I'm gonna hold you to that. Thank you so much
Oh,
for having me.
absolutely, Coach JAFFO. Army, if you guys are watching and listening, please thank Coach Brandon Younger of City College of San Francisco. Appreciate you, Coach. We'll talk to you again soon, yeah?
All right, have a good one, Coach. Thank you.
All right. Oh, so, ladies and gentlemen, that was Coach Brandon Younger of City College of San Francisco. We've had stories about at least on our end with me and Country K, we've had stories about um, San Francisco for a while. Again, the 70-7 ass whooping that we took over at San Jose City all those years ago. The program has been really nothing but successful as far as I've seen and witnessed throughout my career and after that. So really good to see them back into prominence again. National title. That's no easy feat at all, to say the least. But again, thank you, Coach Younger, for coming on, talking a little bit. We definitely need to have him on again, as soon as possible. That's what we like to do with all of our guests. We want to have them on as many times. It's not just a one and done thing. We want updates on everybody on how they're doing. Because when you're a guest on this show, you tend to become family. It becomes part of a JAFFO family that we love to have. We're growing, getting to know more people, getting to meet more people, talk, just get a widespread conversation on what it is that we're trying to do here at the All Pro Jaffas. I mean, again, we've talked to professionals at every level. We've talked to NFL. We've talked to college. We've talked to high school. We've talked to all of these different levels, and everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different route on how they got to where they got. And so to be able to showcase all of these stories and to be able to, get to provide a platform for them to show people. It's an honor for us. I mean, we're blessed to be able to have all of these incredible guests, incredible people. We learn every day that we talk with them, every day that we get to know them a little bit more. Um, it's a growth process for everybody, and we're just glad that we have a platform that we can be proud of and be able to help others get their stuff out there as well. Because again, we love the game of football here. I know we really like to We'll talk about other sports every once in a while and stuff like that, but football is usually the main thing because all three of us, or at least two out of the three of us, um, that's pretty much all we've known throughout our life. I mean, I've played baseball and all that other stuff back in my, but football has always been the main thing for me. But nonetheless, again, thank you, Coach Younger, for coming on to the show. Hopefully, we'll have him again soon. Maybe during the RVC. I think he said it was in March that the RVC would be going on. So maybe we could talk to him again, maybe before that or after that, to get a little insight on how it went. So again, thank you, Coach, and once again, that conversation and this episode is brought to you by Raise Energy. Yes, you guys already know the best Raise. The best energy drink in the entire planet. Established in 2018, already won Clash of the Cans champions. Um, they're already growing into something that's huge, uh, getting to a point where they're dropping limited time offer flavors every single month. This is the best energy drink company on the planet, and it's going to get even bigger as time goes on. They've been with us since the very beginning of the show. Go to repsports.com, reppsports.com, and use the promo code Alpha Raise to get 15% off of your order. Once again, repsports.com, promo code Alpha Raise, 15% off your order. Demand more. Join the Raise Rebellion. Appreciate Raise for being with us since day one. So it's kind of looking like right now it's going to be a little bit of a solo show for me today. Um, well, I guess once again, before we talk to Coach Younger, um, was talking about a little bit about what's the plans for the Bay Area Classic for this Saturday. So again, I'm going to get tested tomorrow. I mean, worst comes to worst, if I do test positive, end up tomorrow, can't make it to the game, but we'll be here at home. We're going to be trying to showcase the game as much as we can. We want to live stream the game with our own commentary added to it. How are we going to do that with me at home? Very good question. We're going to be doing it from there, and I'm going to be at home watching it. Same thing on the computer screen as you guys. Just I'll be commentating on it from here. But the goal is, again, hopefully tomorrow test negative so that all three of us will be able to be at the game on Saturday, which would be great. This is something that we've been planning for quite some time, and I mean, obviously the circumstances are what they are, but hopefully we get good news tomorrow. So stay updated on that. Um, the playoffs for the NFL. My goodness gracious. Uh, it's something that I guess could be. I mean, not so much talked about because obviously we got to talk about that here on the show. But it's definitely something that's been a topic point throughout the entire country. Uh, Saturday, during the 15th, we figured out that the 49ers and the Cowboys will be on a Sunday. So, once again, depending on the status of myself when it comes to the COVID test, we will figure out what we're going to do, at least for the game on Sunday, because we know that's going to be a big one. Me being a 49er fan, Mad Sticks being a Cowboy fan, it'd be interesting to see how that dynamic would play out. But the first game going through, starting on Saturday, we got the Raiders versus the Bengals. The Raiders, after a after a win against the LA Chargers, which had playoff implications that we haven't seen in a very, very long time, if ever, first time in history, at least that I can remember. Um, Raiders and Chargers had the opportunity. If they tied, they would have been in. Steelers would have been out. But the Raiders said, "The hell with that. We're going to take the win. Chargers are out. Take away your AFC West rival. Take them out of the equation. Why wouldn't you?" So they're in. Steelers are in. This is how it goes as of Saturday. The Raiders versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And then which Am I looking at this correctly? Why does the Bills have fit? I don't know how this is fucking. Hold on. I'm sorry. Yep. Okay. So the 5 seeded Raiders take on the 4 seeded Cincinnati Bengals. In Cincinnati, Joe Burrow has been playing lights fucking out. This pretty much this entire year, being every bit of the number one pick as the Bengals expected him to be. Um, Joe Burrow bringing the Bengals to the playoffs in his second year at the helm. Last year, everybody remembers him going out with the ACL. So this year, coming back and leading the team to the playoffs with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, both 1,000-yard receivers this year. Joe Mixon in the backfield running for 1,000 yards himself. That was the first time in history you had a 4,000-yard passer, 2,000 yards receiver, and 1,000-yard rusher, all under the age of 25. That is the Cincinnati Bengals. So look for them, even though their facilities suck ass and they've historically have been a pretty bad team. Look for the Bengals to be on the rise. They won the division this year, and I honestly think that they're going to win it again next year because I don't see anybody. I mean, maybe Baltimore will give them a shot, but I don't see the Steelers, especially with Big Ben gone next year, and the Browns. You guys already know how I feel about the Browns. That ain't going nowhere with them. So yeah, I'm gonna be going with the Bengals because you guys already know I can't go for the Raiders. That's just something that's not in my blood. That's not something I could adhere to or even contemplate doing. Picking the Las Vegas Raiders to do anything good this year. So I'm going to be going with the Bengals. Next one on the list, you got the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. That game will be going on after the Raiders and Bengals game. Bills Patriots. I mean, a division rival in the playoffs always turns out to be something good. Always turns out to be something special. Um, a division rivalry in the playoffs is always something that fans find very exciting. Um, this is a tough one though, because Bill Belichick in the playoffs, it's it's a tough road to get through. Um, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have to go with the Bills. I have to go with the Bills here because Josh Allen's been playing lights out. I think Stephon Diggs is gonna finally show up. He hasn't really been around these last few weeks for the Bills, but it is what it is, and that's what's going on. I'm gonna pick the Bills over the Patriots. Um, hold on a second, guys. This is where we'll be in the edit on Spotify, where it'll be um uh, edited out. So this is what it is. Da, 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 da. Cool. All right, and just get right back to it. Then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. That's the next one that I see. That's on a Sunday. So the Sunday games. So Saturday games are the Raiders, Bengals, Patriots, Bills. And then Sunday game, you got the Eagles versus the Buccaneers, which we already know how Kay feels about that. Kay, I'm pretty sure is going to be um, a little too uh, overconfident with the Buccaneers going up against Eagles. Philadelphia has the number one rushing offense in the entire league versus Tampa Bay's number one passing offense. So we'll see how this is going to go. Philadelphia's defense. It's going to be a rough one against the Bucks. I know the Buccaneers' running defense is actually a bit, top five. I think top 10 themselves. So this is going to be a rough one for the Eagles. I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles, not because my wife, but because we don't like the Bucks. Next one on the list, obviously 49ers versus the Cowboys. This is going to be the biggest one, especially when it comes to all of us here at the All Pro JAFFOs. Between myself and Mad Sticks. What does it say? Dallas is 5-2 all time against San Francisco in the post. I don't give a shit about that stat. Um, well, I mean, we talked about it last week. If the run game is not effective for the 49ers, they ain't winning this game. But I obviously got to pick my Niners. And Max's going to pick his Cowboys. You know, Kay is probably going to pick the Cowboys too, just because his hatred for the 49er fan base uh, is more or is a lot higher than his hatred for the Cowboys fan base. So there's that game. I'm obviously picking the 49ers. Then you got the Steelers versus the Chiefs in what I think is going to be an absolute rout. Um, I can see the Steelers getting blown out at least by 3 touchdowns. Uh, Ben just, I don't know, man. He just can't throw the deep ball right now. I mean, this could be a trap game for the Chiefs. Shit, who knows? Big Ben could just have the team be rallying around him. Hey, this is his last year in. Why not? Why not try to win it all with him or for him in his last year? So we'll see how it goes for Big Ben and the Steelers. But I'm definitely going with the Chiefs. Ben Roethlisberger is a 3-4 record in the wild card round, tied most such losses all time. So his track record is not very good in the wild card game. So we'll see how that goes for Big Ben and the Steelers. They're probably going to get their asses kicked. So next one on the list, final one on the list: Cardinals versus the Rams. Also divisional rivalry game. Rams have, at least Matthew Stafford has not been looking 100% great in the last few weeks of the season. But I mean, there's always a chance because the Cardinals haven't been all of that great the last few weeks of the season either. So that's going to be a very interesting one. I believe they're in LA, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, they are going to be in LA. Kyler Murray against that defense. Oh, I wonder if D Hop's back. If D Hop's back, they might have a shot because then that opens up the door for AJ Green and Christian Kirk, because Jalen Ramsey is going to be on D Hop the whole time. But the Arizona run game minus Kyler Murray, James Conner, okay, Edmonds, okay, but can they get through an Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey led defense? That's the big question of the Monday night playoff game. Obviously, the who is it? The bye week. Let's see who's got the bye week. You got the Packers got the bye week, and the Titans got the bye week. Titans getting that bye week is even more dangerous because that just means Derrick Henry has another week to heal. We already know he's off the IR and he's ready to play come playoff time. Playoffs go through Tennessee, and I think Derrick Henry is going to be hungry to come back. Derrick Henry left the Titans, I believe, week 9 or week 10 of the NFL season, and he's still uh, top 10 rushing in the entire league. So I do honestly believe that Derrick Henry would have not only broken or not only gotten 2,000 yards again this season, he probably would have broken Eric Dickerson's record, and maybe by a lot. Um, Jonathan Taylor ended the year as the leading rusher, but it took him a few weeks, I think maybe 3 or 4 weeks, to actually pass Derrick Henry um, in yardage. So again, without Derrick Henry going down, it would have been insane to see what he would have done. I mean, we're going to end up seeing next season if he'd be able to do it. I mean, 18-week season, I don't see it as being impossible for somebody like Derrick Henry to run for 2,000 yards plus and beat Eric Dickerson's record. So we'll see how that goes. But yep, again, we're only going to get so much out of a solo episode because I can only talk to myself and talk to a camera for so long by myself before I get extremely bored and repetitive. So again, we coach Younger. Thanks again for hanging out and being on the show, talking a little bit. We'll hope to talk to him again soon. Everybody on the JAFFO Army, pray for me for tomorrow. I get my test, and then we'll see what's going to happen. Um, for that, so that hopefully I can be there come Saturday for the Bay Area Cali Classic, something that I've been excited for quite some time. So we'll try and get that settled in. We'll keep you guys updated for tomorrow. But until then, we will see you guys again. We are going to be coming to you live on Saturday, pretty much the entire day, whether I'm here at home or down there, cleared to be able to go to the game. Regardless, we're going to be having a lot of content coming in Saturday. So be on the lookout for that. You guys already know where to find us. Go on YouTube, Tornado Bros Productions YouTube channels, where you will find the All Pro Jaffos every single time we go live. It'll be here on the Tornado Bros Productions YouTube channel. And then for the audio version, that'll be edited, that is normally put out the day after the live show, if not 2 days after the live show, on Spotify at the All Pro Jaffos. You guys know where to find that there. Anchor, which is basically where we run everything and get everything edited. They put everything out. Anchor, um, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you guys can find a podcast. You guys know All Pro Jaffos. That's what you search, and that's where you can find us. Be sure to share it all over the place with your friends, with your family, any high school athletes, college athletes, professional athletes, coaches, whoever it is that you guys may know. This is a platform we want to be able to share their stories and to be able to connect more with the community. Again, appreciate the Jaffo Army for hanging out with us this entire time. We will see you guys on Saturday with a whole bunch of content, for myself, JP, for Country K, for DJ Mad Sticks. We will see you guys on Friday for the very next episode. Deuces.